Hey, welcome to Integrated Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. For those of you who have read the reversion, do you remember how Jim Wyatt got home the day that everything crashed? All the electricity went off? Remember, he was in there up at Joe's Kansas City. Give him a plug. They don't know me from Adam, so I'm not getting anything out of this, but I love their stuff. It's a great barbecue restaurant in Kansas City. He was up there trying to order some barbecue. Finally got some barbecue because he had some cash in his pocket, which everybody should. And was thinking about how he was going to hoof it on home. Went out to his car, got his jick bag, and thinking about that long walk home, which was going to be about 25 miles, and wonder whether he could make it by dark. And then he had an idea, and he walked down to a thrift shop, and he found a mountain bike, a mountain type bike. Okay, I'll say that because I have some friends of mine who are real bicyclists, and I mean, these are guys that have, I don't even want to tell you how much their bikes cost, because I would never spend one for that. My bikes usually cost about $100, and they do just fine, and they last me a long time. Of course, I'm not a competitive mountain biker, right? But they do well for me. Anyway, so he found a mountain type bike, and made his way home. Do you have a bike? You know, one of the things that I talk about when I talk about with my friends, my group, and we were at a location discussing, and we do this a lot. What would we do if it hit right then? Okay, what would we do if everything shut down? EMP, CME, whatever. Social collapse, highways are shut down, whatever like that. And I tell them the first thing they do if they are in that particular area is they know to get themselves to my house, where there are a bunch of bicycles. I believe in bicycles, and they know that because a lot of them they're spread out, not a long ways, but it's going to take some of them 15-20 miles to get home. And that can be quite a hike when you're trying to get home to your family who needs you. So they all know, get to my house and get a bicycle and get on home to your family where you need to be. If you've, one of the things that this little challenge has done is made people get out and do more of the kinds of things they weren't doing so much before. We get down. We live in a very nice suburb on the outer skirts of the suburbs. Almost might be called the outer burbs, but not quite. And we have a fantastic trail system that goes through here. And so we get down a lot. The kids come down. There's nice parks along the way, and I'll tell you, once you get on it, you would not know that you're in a city. If you hear the birds around, occasionally you'll hear a car or something like that. But we'd always get down here, and you'd see a few people and say hi. But I tell you, since this stuff has hit, since the COVID and all that has hit, these trails are packed. Not right now, but they get very busy. And I see more people walking, more people riding their bikes, and being friendlier than they used to be. And that's the way with people, isn't it? Because we're all, we're brought together by a common difficulty. That's why people love snowstorms and tornadoes and storms like that. Have you ever noticed people get happier right but when snow's supposed to hit or a big rainstorm's supposed to hit? Because people, we're social beings, and people have a tendency to feel isolated during the daily rush of life, and then when they have something common to talk about or some perceived common problem coming up to deal with, it kind of makes them come together, and that makes them happy. But anyway, down on this path, I get to talking to quite a few people, and we get to talking about it. Matter of fact, Aiden needed a new bike. We got to fix his brakes and stuff like that. So back when all this hit, I got on. Of course, I was going, okay, let's go get you a new bike. He needs a bigger one anyway. Well, have you tried to buy a bicycle since all this started? You can't, because they're all made in China, except for the $10,000 ones, and they're all sold out. So we've been making do with the bikes we've had, which is which is fine. We can, but there's a lot of people out there that when they were trying to find new things to do with their family said, well, let's go buy some bikes, and couldn't find a bike. So, that kind of goes along with guns and ammo. You can't get them now, but as soon as you can, I'd suggest you get out there and get a bike. Now, a bike can be an important survival conveyance. If you can't get someplace on a car and it takes you too long to get there on foot, there's nothing better than a bicycle. Police use them. The militaries have used them. All sorts of guerrilla armies throughout history since bikes have been invented have used bicycles. And if you live in a situation like we do here, this trail system goes everywhere. And even in a situation to where you needed to stay off the street, and shall I say, I don't want to use the martial word, but if travel was impeded or slowed down or controlled, I don't think there's any place in this that I need to get that I can't get to on this trail, or pretty close to. And I could get to most of my buddies' houses. They could get to me on this trail, and they extend for miles. So I would suggest, and that's kind of it's a drum I beat. I never talked about it on here, but it's a drum I beat quite a bit with people. And if you haven't considered it, when you can again, and I'm sure, hopefully, we'll see what goes on with China. Maybe you won't be able to. Maybe you won't be able to get a good bike for a while. And if so, put it on your list and realize that is an important, durable good. And get out there and get a good one. The people who are out here on their bikes are getting in shape. Riding a bike is a lot better than walking. I see a lot of people out here walking for their health. And I used to tell people when I had my gym, and they'd say, well, I walk, and that's great. And I would tell them, well, walking might be a good exercise for your grandmother, but for you, it's just a slow way of getting somewhere. And the reason for that is because when you walk, you're using a minimal number of muscle groups, and you're moving them through a minimal range of motion. Okay, so about the best thing that I could say about walking is you get some fresh air and you're outside, and at least you're not sitting down, and hopefully not eating while you're walking. But riding a bicycle uses a lot more. It uses the large muscle groups through a larger range of motion, and so it will contribute to that fitness that is so important. We talked about this. If for those of you who are over on Patreon, I showed an environmental fitness video with Hallie climbing up the vines and over the tree, over the creek, and all that. That was fun. If you can get out there and do things like that, that really adds to your life. But most can't, and so get out there on the bicycles. And I'm going to head on and continue on this. And we've got a few more. The kids are out there playing on things, and we've got a few more miles to ride, as we say. Hey guys.
Oh, seriously?
Adam, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Let's slay some fish.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. We run into our neighbors all the time down here, and it's a good place to see people. How you doing? And kind of develop that sense of community with people that you may not know yet. So if you all are lucky enough to live in an area like this, make the best of it. So I'm going to get back at it. And you all have a great day. And remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And part of that preparation, is getting a good bicycle. And don't forget extra tubes and wrenches and things like that. So you all have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.